Blessed be. Today is November 11th, and today is Veterans Day, a Tribune holiday for all of the U.S. Armed Forces who have served to protect our country and our culture. So a big thank you to all of our veterans. It is through you we have so much abundance today, and we stay in control of our demographic at this point and aren't taken over by other cultures that would want to seize control. So again, thank you. Today at work, I focused on my weekly review, kind of making this a big process where I plan for next week and then I go back and I review this week I've just finished. And while I've been doing this for a while, because I review at least my time blocking sheets every week, I've been getting a little more in depth with it, taking it, more of an evaluation, an opportunity for appreciation, and celebrating all my wins. I'm taking this outside just, work things, what did I do, big picture and in my personal life. So I go through the week and think about the things that I really did get done. I made the next step that I needed to do for fixing my 401k debacle. I started a 5-week session dance class. I'm excited. Yesterday was the first day. And so 4 more to go, but I will miss one because I'm going to be in Florida at that time. But still excited to do something. It's getting me out of the house, connecting with others. It's something physical, but not too much. So I'm very happy about that. I took time this week to make some homemade pot stickers or dumplings, or not real sure what the proper term is or what defines the different terminology. But it was, cabbage, chicken, some fig butter. So usually my recipe calls for apricot jelly, but I used fig butter instead. Soy sauce, things like that, then wrapped in the dumplings. The cool part is, they're snagged. The cool thing that I did with them is tried various ways to prepare my little wontons. I did the air fryer. I did frying them in oil, and then I steamed some in a grate over water. And the air fryer and the pan fried, in much deeper oil, really came out the same. So for the air fryer dumplings, wontons, whatever, I brushed them with a little bit of oil and then cooked them that way. And when they were both done, you couldn't tell a difference, so I definitely see the advantage of the air fryer using a lot less oil to produce the same result. So that's a fun experiment, and I learned something that I will focus next time I go to make these, that I'll focus on using the air fryer and save a little less oil consumption for the meal. Let's see. At my team meeting, I'm giving myself credit for getting one of my peers to create their own action macro. I know that hands-on experience really triggered something for them, and let them be aware like they can do it. And it's not just on me to create these things, that it's completely within their skill set to do so too. Another thing I got done this week was I made it in for acupuncture. I'm very glad about that. I haven't gone since before vacation. So I've been wanting to get back in. I've got another appointment set up for next week. Glad to get that in. And then I've also accomplished my weekly review and doing it as in-depth as I wanted. So very glad about that. Some of my other reflecting questions are, what should I have done? So one of the things that I feel I should have done is better prioritize. Again, some time wasted on things that are important but not urgent. So what I did do was I finally filled out one of these little goofy forms. I've had some for a while, but I've never really gotten into using them. But with this long list of action items that I needed for life, and this is all life things, this isn't even work stuff, but reorganizing these pieces, these things, where do I need to focus? And the 401k, that's important and urgent. And scheduling things for the wedding, being the florist, the cake, and the dress. Like, those need to happen now. I need tastings for the cake, conversations. I need to make sure I'm getting booked for the florist because, if they've got other weddings that day, you may not get into the place you want. And then again, starting the process with a dress because you want to give yourself enough time to get things fitted, not messing around. But what I discovered is what is not urgent but important is like me going out to purchase his ring. So that's going to help me this next coming week. Well, it is still an action item. It's not a next week action item, and that's fine. And that helps me feel just a little bit better about all the stuff that I'm going to need to do. And then on this piece of paper, I wrote in for these items that are urgent and important, just maybe some of the factors that I need to have lined up to get them done. For the florist, because I have to admit, I'm contemplating if I do silk flowers, I get to make them myself. I could get it done out of the way. Fake flowers can take a beating, but when you have fresh flowers for your wedding, it is much more elegant. Fresh flowers, I love them. I used to be a florist before, so I have so much appreciation. But I know, you've got to keep them temperate. You've got to keep them watered. You can't let them bang around. They'll get damaged real easy. And I need things to be easy, and not get damaged easy, just be easy. So I've been contemplating if I want to make my own silks. And yes, for the cake, I'm so excited. So farting around, I've been, on Pinterest, saving inspirational images, and I came up with some of my own variations of cake design. If you guys can see that. And I called out all my pieces, antique lace, edible gems, things like that. A little bit of color scheme. So I'm really happy getting that out on paper. So when I go to the cake place, I'll be like, hey, can you make this? And so what I didn't do last week was prioritize urgency, but I did hopefully for this coming week. And then the next question is, what should I do next week? Refocus on trying to make portfolio pieces. I did avoid that this week. I don't think I touched it at all. I've been reflecting on this. Why am I not dealing with it? It's important, but it's not urgent. Well, I guess that's why. Ha ha ha. But I'm realizing that I'm at that messy middle where it's getting uncomfortable. And as human nature, we move away from pain We move towards things that are pleasure. And going through this next step is just uncomfortable, so I feel like I'm moving away from the pain and getting sidetracked by other things. And I need to refocus and make it a priority. So I've been kind of contemplating, like, how do I take the idea that I need to make this portfolio piece and get at least one done? How do I turn that in my mind into something that's moving me towards pleasure? How do I embrace that change, that shift of perception? It's like, oh, I'm going to get something out of it. I like getting things. So I don't know, maybe come Monday, some hypnotic meditation and really focus in on the feeling I will get when I have succeeded and I have a tangible product. Yeah, I like that. I think I know what I'm going to do Monday. 2 small work items, which is updating my action macro to include set by layer. And I want to mess around with the company title block, changing the logo. And I finally found a good copy of a note that I might add into the plot stamp, which is that the drawing's not to scale unless it's printed at 24 by 36. Because I feel that is an important piece of information to put in a title block. I hadn't figured out where, but then I just stumbled onto something earlier today. And I was like, that's going in there. And since I wanted to do the logo anyway, it is now an action item for next week. Glad about that. What should I stop doing? Eating junk food. The good candy in the Halloween bowl is almost all gone. I need to stop purchasing the junk. It's around here. And I even impulse bought some donuts the other day, but they were like apple caramel cakey donuts and delicious. I have no regrets. But I need to stop doing that. I want to take better care of what I'm eating. And this is mainly snacks. My regular food's not too bad, but I'm making poor snacky choices and I need to make a shift of that because it's those little bits that are going to add up and make me more uncomfortable than I want to be. So that's my focus to stop doing for next week. And in general, it's the main thing I want to get done next week is going back to that, again, creating that portfolio piece, a tangible, at least a sheet of something, of this idea that I have of how I want to do a visual representation of my work. So that's what I got for today. If you'd like to hear more entries into the CAD Witch's Grimoire, don't forget to hit subscribe. And until next time, merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again.